911, what's your emergency?
Help! There's an alligator in pool attacking my neighbor!
She raised him from a hatchling. He never once hissed, never once snapped, until one ordinary afternoon when Reef dragged Julia under, not once, not twice, but again and again and again. And the silence that followed wasn't the calm, it was the cover-up. Julia Banks wasn't just known in Clearwater Springs, Florida. She was recognized. Locals called her the Gator Woman, a nickname she wore with quiet pride. Her small rural home looked more like a sanctuary than a house. Inside, she housed over 24 snakes, several exotic lizards and tarantulas, and at the center, Reef, a 12-foot American alligator she'd raised from a fragile hatchling. To Julia, Reef wasn't a pet. He was family. She claimed he knew her voice, could sense her mood, and would rest his snout on her knee when she was upset. Her social media showed them lounging together, his massive jaws inches from her face. She said he recognized his name. She said he liked being petted. Friends and neighbors often commented on the unusual bond Julia shared with Reef. She spent hours every day tending to his needs, feeding, cleaning, and even talking to him like he was a child. Some dismissed it as eccentric, others admired her dedication, but all knew this was no ordinary pet-owner relationship. The alligator's presence was woven into the fabric of Julia's life in a way few could understand. That changed on July 15th. At 8:04 a.m., a neighbor made a chilling 911 call. She's screaming, "Oh my God, it's the gator. He's got her." Dispatchers issued a high-priority alert. The address was flagged. Julia had previous complaints against her enclosure, but she always cooperated. She followed every minimal safety measure. At 8:11 a.m., 2 Clearwater County deputies arrived. The neighbor led them around the back fence. The pen's gate stood open. Inside was horror. Julia was half submerged. Reef had her, and he wasn't letting go. An officer shouted. Reef didn't move. His eyes stayed locked on her. A second deputy fired a warning shot. Reef didn't flinch. He's just holding her, like he's waiting. By 8:15, paramedics were told to stay clear. Reef was dragging her limp body through the shallow pool in fits and starts. Her torn clothing floated above blood-stained water. One shoe was nowhere to be found. The entire scene was surreal. Reef's immense strength contrasted by the eerie stillness of his posture. Witnesses later described the gator's calm demeanor as almost predatory patience, as if he were toying with his prey rather than attacking in a frenzy. The deputies and paramedics were frozen between shock and urgency, realizing this was no ordinary animal attack. Body camera footage captured the final moments. 3 shots rang out. Reef convulsed. Blood and water churned. Then, stillness. Julia's body slumped. She was pronounced dead at 8:19 a.m. 12 minutes later, her body was removed. The autopsy would reveal crushed pelvis, fractured ribs, deep puncture wounds, and internal bleeding. Cause of death, blunt force trauma plus drowning. But investigators noted something chilling. There was no struggle, one said. No fight. She didn't scream until it was already too late. That detail haunted them most. Reef didn't rampage, he shifted. No warning, no sound. Just that moment, his companion became prey. For the officers, the scene challenged every assumption about wild animal behavior. Reef had been calm, eerily so, until the moment of attack. It was as though an invisible line had been crossed, one that Julia never saw coming. The cold silence of that moment echoed louder than any scream, haunting responders long after. No one's laughing now. If this is unsettling to watch, good. There's more where that came from. Like, share, and subscribe if you're ready for what's next, because what comes after will shake even seasoned responders. Neighbors reported strange sounds the night before. Low rumbling, splashes, and muffled thuds. Sometimes the sound of something large, repeatedly hitting the enclosure wall. Others say Reef had been on edge lately, more watchful, more alert. Julia had also received threats online. Critics accused her of reckless behavior. Authorities warned her to reinforce the infrastructure or risk losing her animals. She refused. She believed Reef was safe, that the relationship they had was rare. Those close to Julia recall her stubborn streak, an unwavering belief that Reef's instincts were tamed by their years together. Yet even among her supporters there were whispered concerns. Some said Julia was in denial, blinded by affection for a creature whose nature could never truly be controlled. She may have believed that, until suddenly it was too late. Investigators also found chilling video clips on her phone, private footage never posted. One showed Reef lunging abruptly at Julia's arm during feeding. Another showed him snapping at a broom she was using to clean. And one, most eerie of all, showed him dragging his food bowl across the cement floor, slow, deliberate, like he was stalking prey. And then, the note, dated 5 days before the attack. Reef has been watching me more lately. He doesn't blink. It's like he's trying to decide something. The note hinted at something deeper, a shift in Reef's behavior that Julia sensed but never shared publicly. Those final days were marked by a tension that few witnessed, but the private footage spoke volumes. The calm was deceptive, the danger growing just beneath the surface. If you're unsettled now, just wait, because this isn't just a tragic accident. It's a glimpse into a hidden world where trust, denial, and obsession collide. By this time, the story had captured national attention. One question faced scrutiny in every interview. What happens when wild instincts break through years of trust? Wildlife officers euthanized Reef the next day. He was transported to a state lab. No illness, no neurological issues, just a healthy male gator that snapped. The death was officially ruled an accident, but under a spotlight, questions remained. Julia's family said she never expected this. Others, especially those in the exotic pet circles, believed she understood the risk and chose to ignore it. Still, no one expected the outcome. If you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe. Because Julia's story isn't just tragedy, it's a warning, one that won't be the last. At the pen behind the fence, officers found Julia's sandals, placed neatly at the threshold. She walked barefoot into the enclosure like always. It was routine, familiar, safe, until it wasn't. But still the question remains, did Julia ever see it coming, or did she trust him too much to notice the signs? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one.